Today we got to talk about Megan Fox. There has been some extremely disturbing things that I feel like we need to discuss. Right now, it's currently in the news that it's alleged that Machine Gun Kelly cheated on Megan Fox, and I guess she took all of her photos off of her Instagram with him down, and there has been some little hints that something like this has happened. But that's not what we're going to talk about. Megan Fox was really huge around the time that the Transformers came out.
You got a high-rise double pump carburetor. That's pretty impressive, sir.
Double pump?
It squirts the fuel in so you can go faster.
She was in Jennifer's Body.
You're a jerk. Wow, nice insult, Hannah Montana.
And she had a really big following, and she kind of disappeared for a little bit. She got married, she had kids.
So how's the baby?
He's perfect. He's amazing and beautiful and special and fat.
Exhausting. It is, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm in love with him, and Brian is jealous because I love him so much.
She wants to marry him, and I keep telling her that doesn't.
That's my baby boy. There's
right, which is
nothing
why you don't
better.
marry him, because he's your.
But
it doesn't
I
matter.
love.
Because that would be weird.
Right. I love her. I still love her. It's fine. She's okay. She just loves her baby. That's all.
That in itself is a type of trauma. That level of fame is a traumatic event. My psychological type is not an introvert, but fame made me introverted. I shut down a lot and sort of retreated from everything and was essentially in hiding for several years of my life. And then unforeseen events sort of got dragged back out into the spotlight again.
And she came back out in the spotlight dating Machine Gun Kelly.
Really use emojis because I'm just never on the phone. But if I had to go with one, it'd be the eggplant emoji because, well, you know, Daddy.
You said to me,
You smell like weed.
and I said, I am weed.
And then you vanished.
And this relationship it's been an extremely disturbing one, to say the least. The vibes that Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox were giving off were reminiscent of Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton.
What's the most exciting thing you guys have ever done in a car, individually or together?
I think it was today. My favorite one in a car was today, just before we got here. What is this, MTV?
I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, you want me to be honest with you? We went in the car on the way here. Yeah.
It was the most exciting thing.
Yeah, every time it is.
Where they were wearing each other's blood and vials around their neck.
He also said that you two wrote your names or wrote a pact in blood, something like that, saying that you will never be away from each other when each of you is filming a movie. Am I getting that right?
Well, it's kind of like that. We signed our life away to each other on our anniversary. Even it was notarized that we couldn't. I mean, if there was even, the thing is, we're never going to separate. So it was our way of saying to each other, we just were together forever. We're so in love. We're best friends, and it's, but we kind of signed our life away to each other, and legally, and with blood, that there's no possible way anybody can separate or walk away from this. And just did different things to confirm that, but not that we needed to, but we just wanted to.
Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly were giving off those vibes. But I feel like, as, laughable as some of the things have been, there's actually been some extremely disturbing things that I feel like are kind of brushed under the rug with how messed up they are. And as you guys know on this channel, I'm extremely passionate about the well-being of kids. I was like that even before I had my own, but now that I have my son, I'm even more passionate about it now that I know what it takes to be a mom. I feel like a lot of the things that she has said and done could come back on her children. So the very first thing is when it came out that she had done an interview talking about, what word can I use to describe this, because YouTube has been flagging my videos, so it's getting hard to figure out what words I'm allowed to say or not allowed to say. When Megan was talking about Machine Gun Kelly harming himself and putting his blood on her and those types of things, the way that she talked about this in this interview was so casual.
It's just a few drops. So we do consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes. It is used for a reason, and it is controlled where it's like, let's shed a few drops of blood and each drink it.
There's numerous reasons why it's disturbing. One, that they're doing it to begin with, but two, that it's something that they're even talking about, okay? I've seen people, saying that they're a part of the weird Hollywood thing with blood rituals and stuff like that, and I'm not gonna lie, like, there's definitely some weird stuff that goes on. Many people don't even know that this type of stuff is going on, but this is real. It's not a made up situation. This right here says that the ultra wealthy are paying thousands for young blood transfusions that are meant to slow down the aging process. It says a controversial startup called Ambrosia charges thousands to fill your veins with the blood of young people, which is meant to slow aging by rejuvenating the body's organs. Another company, the Young Blood Institute, was charging $285,000 for trials of young blood transfusion. Now, this company says that they do not obtain blood directly from young donors. They get it from a licensed blood bank in the United States. Nonetheless, this is an extremely disturbing and strange thing that has been trying to be normalized. I mean, do you guys remember that clip of Sandra Bullock talking about circumcision situation and how she was like injecting something into her body to make her younger?
Okay, let's talk about this facial that you're obsessed with.
Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling, pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen, and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes.
What are you pushing into the skin, Sandra?
Sarah? Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby.
When you see how good it is to your face, you too will run to your local facialist and say, give me the penis.
The reality star was initially turned off by the unconventional beauty product, which sells for $165 a jar. But she's become a big fan after trying it, that Kim swears it reduces wrinkles, and that she did her research, and that she figures that the skin is typically being disposed of after circumcision. She's actually helping the environment by recycling. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, that's a real thing. It's something that I feel like people will hear and then just be like, oh, that's weird, and then go on about their day and like not really sit there and process like, this is stuff that's going on, and we're all just gonna be like, wow, that's strange, and then go eat a corn dog. I don't know. I'm just extremely disturbed how casually Megan Fox said that they drink each other's blood for rituals. What kind of ritual are you doing? And then in this interview, she first says that it's controlled and that it's just a few drops, as if that makes it less weird. I mean, at the end of the day, you're causing harm to yourself and then consuming the blood from that. That's not normal. That is nothing that should ever be normalized or talked about in a normalized manner or spoken about casually. Like, that's not incredibly messed up and damaging to be spreading that message to people. Like, I'm sure there's people that have literally done that because they did that. Like, they have like diehard fans that will probably be like, oh, they think this is cool, so I'm gonna do this. The way that she goes on to describe after saying it's controlled is the polar opposite of it being controlled, and just says that he's extremely dangerous in the way that he does this.
He's much more haphazard and hectic and chaotic, where he's willing to just like cut his chest open with broken glass and be like, take my soul, let me bleed on you. It doesn't not happen. A version of that has happened many times.
Now, when Megan talks about her kids, she does say that she keeps them off social media, which is good. They should be. But are parents just not aware that your kids are going to get access to the internet, whether that be at school, from friends, or like they're gonna see these things? And when you have a mom who is, say, Megan Fox, there are going to be times where kids bring up to these children what their mom said. These kids are going to hear that their mom does these blood ritual things. They're going to get access to that information, and they're going to learn that about her, whether they are too young to understand it or whether they're old enough to understand it, which even if you are, that's still not normal. That's still like incredibly disturbing. Like, if I found that out about my mom, that would really like mess me up with how I felt about my parents. If I found out they were doing that stuff, can you imagine if you found out your parents were doing that? Like, think about it. That's not healthy. If you're gonna do it, there should be no way in hell that you ever say anything where your children can catch wind of that. Now, another thing that I have a huge issue with, she glorified Machine Gun Kelly's drug use. In this post that she deleted on her Instagram, it says, "Security told me I shouldn't post any of these until Sam blurred the badge out, but I waited like 2 weeks and it never happened, so they're going up anyway. Also, at Machine Gun Kelly, this was my favorite fit of yours so far on tour. Watching you wrap your ass off wearing a tight green chainmail scoop neck tank top, looking like Link if he had abandoned his quest for Zelda and instead became an elven Underwood prince with a moderate to severe drug addiction was just..." I have a really big issue with this because, again, her kids are going to see this stuff one day, okay? And she mentioned this in this Instagram post as if this was some sort of cool, attractive thing. And I think this is just so incredibly harmful, not only spreading that message, but it's harmful to another person to be doing drugs, and it's harmful to them and their body. And so to be saying these things to your fans, to your supporters, it's harmful. To the person who's doing it, it's harmful. I just feel like this whole relationship and the things that they choose to say, whether it be for shock value or to get a headline or whatever reason, because there are people who think that it isn't true, that it's just, they're just trying to get attention. For whatever reason, it's harmful. Now, I just want to say this. There's been a lot out in the news about how Megan Fox was cheated on by Machine Gun Kelly. There are rumors she found text messages on his phone. If that's the truth, they had to be pretty bad if she, you know, put anything out there alluding to the fact that this had happened. But I just feel like, you know, you have to look at who you're with. If somebody is ripping their chest open and bleeding on you or whatever the hell it is that was going on behind closed doors with the two of them, I used to like Megan Fox, you know what I mean? So I feel just kind of disappointed that these are the things that she's chosen to say. I just feel like this is stuff that shouldn't have been public information that her kids could one day get a hold of, because this is harmful to them. Like, to people who are famous, some of them realize, but some of them don't seem to realize that the information is going to come back to your kids. Are they not considering how that's going to affect them? It's just something that I find interesting to talk about. You guys are gonna have to let me know what your thoughts are down below. I've heard so many people that are just sick of Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly, but I feel like there's some darker things here that need to be talked about that aren't just funny or annoying. Like, it's bad stuff. You guys are gonna have to let me know what you think in the comments down below about this situation. If you guys would like to join and become a member, I also have members content, and make sure you check the link in my description. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will be seeing you guys soon for another one.